Hello, Digi-Fox here. And yeah, it's been a long time since I've done a video. I haven't done a video since last summer. So you guys probably thought I broke my camera or something. No, that hasn't been the case. You know, that battle with Matt Hardy V8, that took a lot out of me. I had to recover big time from that. Holy crap. I had that fat pig inside my body, shoveling grapes into my mouth. It was brutal. Yeah, God knows he was the whole time he was probably trying to, you know, fuck a Reba Sky blow up doll. He probably had, like, you know, plastic action Lita figures he was secretly trying to torture in a dungeon somewhere. But anyway, I digress. To make sure that there will be no more Matt Hardy V8 clones sent after me, to make sure that Dr. Magpie is not going to send any more clones, I went and got myself a Dolph Ziggler haircut. So there will be no more clones unless Magpie decides to send a Dolph Ziggler clone after me. So today's episode is going to be My Dog Sam, episode 4. And today we're going to be talking about My Dog Sam is smarter than Ric Flair. As you know, Ric Flair has made his return in TNA recently, much to the chagrin of many fans that should just say that he should retire already. Well, I think he should have retired long before today. To give you a rundown of his career, he is a 16-time World Heavyweight Champion. He came to WWE from WCW several years ago, back in 1991, with the NWA belt no less. He was in WWE for a couple of years, then decided to go back to WCW, and then he came to, and then on and on, so on and so forth. You know, when WCW went out of business in 2001, he probably should have retired back then. He had that one match with Sting during the last Nitro. That should have been it. That should have been fucking it. He should have just said, you know what, I've had a good career. I'm going to hang up my boots now. But no, what does he do? He comes back to WWE in 2002 in this really heartfelt return as like one half of the owner of WWE or whatever. It was called the WWF back then, but you know, apparently saying WWF these days is like a huge fucking sin. You can't even refer to old school WWE as WWF anymore. God, they really need to have an easier to say name. Did they have to pick the letter that has the most syllables? There's 26 letters in the alphabet. They had to pick one that has 3 syllables. There, I digress again. I'm going on a subject tangent. Anyway, my point is, he had this really heartfelt coming back, had the match with Vince McMahon, and you know, he should have been gone soon after that. You know, he shouldn't have stuck around as long as he did. But he did go on to help form Evolution, which is the kind of a reprise of the Four Horsemen. Oh, well, we'll get to that. And he stuck around in WWE for several years. Probably way longer than he should have. Until he had that match at WrestleMania with Shawn Michaels. The one where his career was on his line. That was, what, 2008? That was an awesome moment. That should have been the end of his career. He came out wearing his robe with fireworks going off. You know, pew, pew, pew. Had that really heartfelt match, and it was this feel-good moment. And, you know, Shawn Michaels kept referring to him as Old Yeller. And he lost, and it was okay. And then the Undertaker even had a little tribute to him where he kneeled down like this, took off his hat. So that should have been the end of his career. But no. What does he do? He resurfaces a couple years later in TNA of all things. Why? Why would you do that to yourself? And he manages AJ Styles, which is okay. He should be in a manager role, but he shouldn't be wrestling anymore. And then he went and formed Fortune with AJ Styles, Beer Money, and Kazarian. Once again reprising the Four Horsemen. Just fuck. And he's still going with it, man. He's still heel turning and like, okay, I'm gonna join up with Immortal now. And it's just, and he recently came back too. It was like, why? It's like you've already broken up Fortune. You know, James Storm and Robert Roode had that match at Lockdown, which was fucking awesome, except for the finish. The finish was utter shit. Why would you do that to yourself, Rick? Are you really that hard up for cash that you would have to go whore yourself to TNA? Are times really that tough for you? Like, if you want to make money, why is TNA the place to do it? God, TNA doesn't, you could make more money working at fucking Superstore than working at TNA. Because at least Superstore, you don't have to fly to another state every week. Wrestle the Impact Zone. Like, why, Rick? Just retire. Like, you're gonna die in that fucking ring. Just, So, now I gotta make the case of why my dog Sam is smarter than Ric Flair. Watch this. Okay, Sam, I would ask you a few questions. Sam. Hey, hold still. Gotta ask you a few questions. Sit. Do you need money, Sam? Do you require money to make a living? Sit. Do you want to work for TNA? Would you go down to TNA, to the Impact Zone, and be an on-screen personality? Would you do that? Would you lower? Whoa, shit! Stepped over a thing. Would you lower yourself? Look at the camera, Sam. Look at the camera, Sam, when I talk to you. Would you do that? Would you lower yourself to working at the Impact Zone? See, look, he's walking away. I think that is a clear, emphatic no. In fact, look at this. This perfectly answers your question right here. This, without a shadow of a doubt, this should answer your question whether Sam wants to go work at the Impact Zone and be an on-screen personality. So he is, without a shadow of a doubt, smarter than Ric Flair. Case closed.